Hello, my name is Stanley Chombossi. I was born in Angola in a little town called Chombossi. Gold is a gold program. I was introduced to it by a friend, and I'm glad because the program resembles who I am, a fighter, a person that never gives up. And I'm glad to give my energy, my force, and my time to this lovely program. Okay, I was born in a little town called Chombossi in Angola. And growing up was a challenge because little towns, they have few to give. I won't say that I was poor or middle class because I cannot compare with money. What we had, it was always the brain. We had the possibility of thinking on our own. So I'm the oldest of 15 brothers. So I had to grow up even before the time. Luckily and unfortunately, I'll say that, we had the war in Chombossi. I'll say luckily because I am the man I am today because of all those situations. And I'll say it was an unfortunate situation because I lost friends, I lost families, and it's life. I'll call it it's life. Then coming from a little town, I decided I had to dream more. I had to overcome certain challenges. Then I saw myself start moving town to town and try to look for better opportunities. Yes. Okay, since little I was always a dreamer, and I always believed that impossible was nothing. So I had to leave my town. I never end up in South Africa as a miracle or a day by night. I leave my town, I went to Benguela, which is a bigger town, and then I went to Luanda. But I still saw that my dreams were not coming to where I want them to be. So I venture myself to an adventure, which is to come to South Africa and try. And it was a very difficult time because I had to come on my own. It was a time that people that were in South Africa, they were maybe sons and daughters of rich people, if I could say, and I was the poor boy trying everything. So this is my story about ending coming to South Africa and to where I am today. So seeing myself in South Africa, it was a big challenge because I was not having financial means to survive. So I had to involve in many ways of survival, mostly maybe doing cleaning of people's houses, doing gardening, doing chauffeur. I also work around restaurants and everything. And as I can try to go back to that story, today I could say it was worth it. But if someone asked me to go back to that, I don't think I'll be able to copy again because it was not easy. But I'm blessed and I'm glad that I went through all that and made me this man that I am today. A man that needs to fight, a man that never forgot where he came from, a man that is there to inspire people. That's where we team up with companies like Gold so that we can try to boost each other. And the aim is never giving up. As I said earlier, I'm a war survivor. And the war taught me one thing. We need to go after what we believe in. Yeah. So being in South Africa, challenges of being a foreigner anywhere, they are there and they are known by all of us. So it was not easy and it's never going to be easy. Yeah, because there are even times that we have to face xenophobias and all other problems, society problems. But I never saw that as a big stone on my way because from where I came from worse experiences. So I just had to evolve. I just had, every time when things were going on the wrong way, I needed to go to try to choose the right way. As I said also, being a person that doesn't have a father or someone that can sponsor him outside, so you need to be always in survival mode. I remember I stayed in the streets around South Africa. I remember I always wanted to give up, to give up. But even though when I came to South Africa, I came with plan A, B, and C, that things could work or they couldn't work. So I was relying on, I can even say it smiling today, I was relying on my return ticket. I said, let me give it a try. Then if it works, then it will work. Now, coming to a point like if I was having options to choose if I want to be a businessman, a musician, or anything else, I didn't even had those kind of choices. I had to survive. I had to feed myself with what came. And even today, I am a man of many professions. Yeah, because life has taught me that. And it's one thing that I also want to pass around to all the dreamers. It's not easy, but then sometimes we need to look outside the box. Yeah, you can be a doctor, you can be a qualified engineer, but we know every kind of job and profession has hiccups. So that's what drives me, for example, not to be standing in one place. I'm always looking for bettering myself. I'm always looking challenges for myself. I'm always seeing like what is next. Because if I wait too much, you know, life is it's like a fast boat. There is many people on the race. If you wait too much, you can stay behind forever. What I do today, as I said, I'm multifaceted in many areas. I'm trying to concentrate more on agriculture. Basically, I supply Angola. I do import and export. I supply the big farms in Angola with raw material and all other stuff. Challenges are always there, but I could say they are not many if the plans are done right. So I plan ahead always for what is coming in my plate. So the main challenge that we can have is the Africa economical instability. Yeah, because today we have the economic kind of stable, and tomorrow we have things having hiccups. And for us, knowing where we're coming from, we think that now it's time to start giving back to Africa, but Africa fights against us. Yeah, I'm not saying about a country, South Africa or anything, but I'm talking about Africa. But then giving up is not an option. Yeah, we still need to challenge ourselves. So focus is agriculture because I realize that food is the first element of necessity of a human being. Yeah, that's why I decided to venture and maybe start thinking to stabilize in food. I do music for fun. It's my hobby, expensive hobby, if I could say. I do interpreting, medical interpreting. I work in hospitals around Pretoria and South Africa. I'm well known about here. I done my solo pilot license. I've done helicopters. Yeah, but then I'm still thinking like food is the key. And food is the reasons why we end up fighting all the time. Food is the reasons why we even have wars. So I'm trying to focus on food production and try to develop Africa and try to give back, actually. That's what my thoughts.
Beautiful, thank you.
One thing very important that life has been teaching me, don't judge. Don't judge. You don't know why a person ends up on one situation or the other. So it's going to be quite very not fair for me to judge anyone that's doing something. And I don't believe on people's talks, because someone talks, someone is doing this and someone is doing this. But sometimes we don't even have proof. Yeah, what I suggest better, I think instead of talking too much, we need to start spending time with ourselves, with our own development. Because if we start too much looking at people and then we start judging, we forgot our own focus, our own missions, and why we are here. So when we talk about dodgy, there's a definition of dodgy. What someone is doing might not be dodgy for him. It's dodgy for me or for other person. But then life is made about choices. I was born on a religion background, so I believe that something that my conscience calls me wrong, I won't do it. And but still, when we say like dodgy or not dodgy, if you are a businessman coming on that mind of perspective, I'm starting now to analyze that if you are a businessman, you are really not the perfect one already. Because if you're trying to buy a bottle of water that costs you R1 and you have to resell it for R2, so which means you are not being fair, but which means life is not fair. So which means you are not being honest, because you bought it R1, you should sell it to R1. But life is not only also about being fair. It's about the challenge that comes to all of us. So I don't know many people that are in dodgy business. Maybe I'm too focused on myself. But what I ask everyone that can see us, don't judge. Don't judge. Sometimes we need to look people deep in the eye. If I don't tell you my story, you're going to see me and think like everything is wonderful, everything is okay. But let us try to look deep in eyes, and most of the time, let us support people. Yeah, they do this. If they come to you, be positive. Give your positive input to that person, because we never know what everyone goes through. We never know. And that's my point about anyone. You are out there. Do your thing. Be conscious. Try to be less, how can I put it? Try to be less, I won't say greedy, but try to think about what you do to your brother can come back to you. What if that thing was done to you? If we have that balance in our minds, I think we are right to choose anything that we do if you know what you're doing. But don't do to your brothers what you want that someone does to you. I think that's my advice on that point. My people. Many people, when it comes to business or thinking about something, we think about money. And when we think about money, we think about big money. But I'll tell you, what is the definition of big money? Big money for me is something that can work. I think let us try to start from humble beginnings. Humble beginnings. So what I'm trying to say here is like, start with what you can and what you have. Second, humble. I didn't supposed to be the man that I am today if I didn't clean someone's house, if I didn't wash someone's dishes, if I didn't work in a restaurant and I got fired because I was sleeping standing, if I didn't got qualification, and that's a very important point. Always try to read, qualify yourself. Especially if you want to do something, even if it's to sell coffee in the corner or anywhere. Now we have even internet. Instead of us wasting time there with unnecessary things, read about coffee. Yeah. Try to read how to make a different coffee. And please, first structure, make a plan. A plan. Then think about the money. If you make a plan, you make a short, medium, and long term. When you have this structure, so you are not afraid if you start from a small coffee making and then evolving to open a coffee shop and then even supplying the country with coffee. Number one. Number two, I don't think sometimes it's really even wise and proper for us to start a business like a coffee vending, starting of supplying all country, because you're going to fail, because you never had an experience. You don't know what is it to handle coffee, to handle clients. You don't know that. So try to start small and grow with it. And then when you fall, when you are small, it's much easier to cope and to repair than to fail when you are big or you start too big. So starting for me, and my advice for you is always starting. But know your craft. Know what you want to put yourself into. Lastly, remember there is competition. There is competition. If I'm selling a coffee, what is my add value to that coffee? I need to know, like maybe when I'm selling my coffee, I'm selling it with a smile. Remember what I told you, it's not always about money. It's the add value that you have in you. The smile that you put when you're serving that coffee. And people, they always come to you. So, and you even gonna wonder why. And you need to be persistent on what you do. Remember, failure is part of progress. If you are not failing, it means you are not having any way progress. I couldn't say that education is the key, because many people that made it out there never went to school. But remember, many people are not us. Do especially what works for you, because what works for you might not work for me. So what I'm trying I'm having a lot of information to pass to you. The time is always a concern and a constraint. But what I'm resuming what I said, be yourself first, plan wisely, and then start with what you have. Yeah, and I don't advise even people start borrowing before you start making, because even when you borrow, yeah, things become a little bit difficult for you to make it out there. So if I have to resume, that's the story about that. That's the example, and that's what the strength that I want to give to everyone that want to come up. There is no easy way. There is no easy way. There is sacrifice involved. There is sleepless nights. There is giving up of things that you like. I remember me going to a club, and I was maybe 22, and see my younger friends, 22, going inside the club. So I was looking at myself, I was saying, like, if I go to this club, I'm gonna spend this money that I made as a tax driver. So I had to sleep in the car and wait for the other young people to come to me. So try to come to my sense, to my feels, and just trying to imagine how does it feel. You see a young boy or a young kid wearing the shoes that you should wear, but then you need to give up, you need to give yourself time and know that you're going to wear that shoes, but maybe the time is not right for you. So we need timing. We all have our own timing. Remember, easy comes, easy go. Be careful also with empty promises. Once my father told me, like, grab a pen. If you are an artisan, paint. If you are a welder, weld. Know your craft, and I'm telling you, life will be a success. I am like many people. I had the same thinkings before money. I had the same thinking. Being successful is being a person that can be able to feel free, because success for me is freedom. Is you to have the command over your own life. Successful is translated by the most important resource that we have, which is time. And time is about having maybe quality time. Try to spend times with loved ones. You chase after money. Yes, we do have to do that. We need money to survive. We all need that. But also we need to have time to introspect, to look deep in ourselves and try to see, like, really, am I doing this for me, or why am I here? Find the reason of why you are here, what you do. So success for me is trying to be you, is to have peace of mind, is to have a good night's sleep. Success for me is about trying to always find ways to survive in difficult situations. So the survival mode is a process. And success is also a process, because sometimes for us to keep ourselves in one standard, we need to work every day for that. So success for me is a process, is not money. Success for me is translated by time that you have for yourself, by time that you spend with the loved ones. Success for me is about you achieving what you want and have peace of mind. The questions are really very interesting, and also the answers should be, because we're ready for that. My immediate plans are all affected by outside conditions. Yeah, we now facing the corona. Yeah, I was so certain that now I could be opening my farm. But remember, now we are on hold up. Yeah, things are holding us up. So my immediate plans actually is to live life to the fullest. Is to live life to the fullest. Yes. Make every day count, professionally, personally, and all spheres of my life. In agriculture, as I said, I'm supposed to open my farm, but things change. I'm still planning by end of this year, my farm can be up and running. This one gonna be in Angola. Yeah, but if doesn't happen, that's why I also mention always, I have plan A, B, C. I'll live life. Working in hospitals, I've seen people dying in front of my eyes. And what they wished is like God could give them one more time, maybe to go and kiss the son, to go and see the family, and to do normal things that normal people do. And then that's why I start appreciating much time. So I want to live as God's wants, because now I'm believing more, and I know that is our provider, is our leader, and I'm living for him now. So as I said, my immediate plans are agriculture, but then I also decided to open 2 bank accounts. Yeah, this is a secret that I want to share with you. My two bank accounts, what do I mean? I mean, now I have the money bank account, and I also open the memory bank account. Yeah, the money bank account, I'm trying to spend much of it and try to deposit on the memory bank account. I have a family. I need to spend time with my family. I need to work hard, but also play hard. Play hard. So this is my short vision, my short term are all conditioned to outside or external factors. My medium long term, yeah, I've done my solo license. Yes, helicopter solo license at Harvard Dynamic in Johannesburg. Yes, and I see that in the near future, the problem of people or companies is going to be the movement because of traffic and everything. So I'm thinking to venture in heli taxi. So I've done it, I've studied already. That's why I said at the beginning, it's very important to know your craft. So I've studied already, and I'm waiting, and I'm working on capitalizing so that I can be able to start venturing on that. With that said, doesn't mean that between this time of waiting, I shouldn't be doing other stuff, or I shouldn't be looking for life elsewhere. That's I think where people sometimes get it wrong. They try to focus and sleep on dream. And what about if it doesn't happen until you die? So which means if that thing doesn't go well, you still have the agriculture. And that's why I said we all need to find all other means of survive. My long term, I am venturing to food. I'm venturing to farming because I came from a poor background, and one of our best struggle was how to feed and how to stand. Number one. Number two, if I'm farming, I can employ people. So which means I want to give back. I can employ people. I can be able to feed people. And in meantime, also, I'm trying to run a little bit of this so-called good life of cities and everything, and try to find the real life and the real people, because I know where they are. So which means my long term is to be farming. I'm already doing my agriculture courses. I've done chickens. I'm also going to tunnel agriculture. So my long term, I'm going to be in the farm. I want to give back to my people. I want to try to make a difference. Yeah, sometimes I think I want to be the black Superman, but yeah, we cannot satisfy everyone. Yeah, but I'll do whatever is possible. Yes, and that's my plan. Plus, if I think about my people, it's not like I'm thinking only about Angola. It's about if I'm feeding in Angola, and that's the wrong perspective that we have. If you're helping in your house someone, directly or indirectly, are you helping an African? Are you helping a brother that's going to help another brother? And that's what I think. Yeah, let us start helping where we are, and let the word go out there. Let people know us. Yeah, as I said, I do music. Music is my hobby. I'm also thinking to invest more time on that. And if I'm successful also on that, and if you have chance to view a little bit about my music, you're gonna see that I'm gonna pass the message of courage, never giving up, don't stop. Be a dreamer is not forbidden, but just look up to your steps. Remember, a baby start crawling, standing, walking, and run. So there is steps to the development. You cannot start running. Let us cut that perspective, like we start from running. Now we start from crawling, standing, walking, and run. COVID is a waking call for all of us. It's a waking call. Yeah, there've been a lot of situations like COVID. COVID is not the first one, but what COVID taught me, and I think taught all of us, it taught us that the most important resource that we have is not money, is time. Yeah, that's what COVID actually is the resume of the COVID for me. Is a pandemic that came to show us that we need to up our games. Yeah, is a pandemic that came to show us like life will never be the same again. So saying so we are not the same also. Then we need to think out of the box. We need to try to look of new ways of looking at life. It taught me that family is important. Yeah, family is important. Spend time with your family, with your sons. Yeah, it taught me that the more we save and the more we think like we are secure, the less we are doing. So which means, that's why I told you about the bank account. Money versus bank account of memory. Live life and make every day count. That's what COVID is teaching me. It's a process. We are not even out of it. And we hope that we are out of this pandemic soon. And we hope and pray for all the families that are directly affected with the COVID. Yeah, and I believe it's going to go away. It's a process. It's hard on us, but things, they'll change for the better. What is it for me? I feel like humanity is having a common sense. Common sense coming with the pandemics and other problems. Now we realize like there is no problem that is meant for blacks, whites, India, coloreds, and everything. And as we were talking about the COVID come to teach us if there is a problem as such, it makes us to be together. What is making me happy and making me believe in this universe is like somehow now we're going back to our roots and we're trying to make sense of a word called Ubuntu. Ubuntu, which means we are coming together. We are realizing that we are one. Yeah, my neighbor's problems or difficulties are my difficulties. So I think I'm starting to enjoy life as it is, and I'm starting to enjoy the universe as it is. Remember also now we let even the birds come back to us. You know, there is one specific thing that I learned in books. It says like there is no commodity without incommodity. So meaning like there is nothing that is really good that you do it too much that doesn't become bad. Yeah, so there is always both sides of the story. There is hope for humanities. We are becoming one. We are talking less and looking more. We are paying more attention to each other. Yeah, we are trying to hear more, and most of all, we are now learning to read with our eyes, which we thought was impossible. And that's what makes me to be happy about this world. Is approaching us more together. So yeah, we see more people praying, and yeah, this is beautiful. This is wonderful. I could say that it couldn't be a more beautiful time to be living this world like now. Yeah, what I think, and I think is a matter of decades, is the greed. Yeah. The greed is increasing like people are just think like we are machines. We are machines. What I think our leaders, they could think more about their own people than themselves. What I think also is again going back to what I believe in, which is God's words. Yeah, don't do to others what you don't want that happens to you. So which means try to put yourself in someone's shoes first. I want the wars to stop. I want the tribalism to stop. I want the religious differences to stop because we are one. We share one blood. My blood is red. Your blood is red. And we share this universe. Let us enjoy it. Let us live to the fullest. That's what I see that we should do more, but we are doing less. So which means I'm trying to incentivize. I'm trying to pass the message like, yeah, let us stop with all wrongdoings. Let us to be good to ourselves so that we can resemble goodness to other people. And this is my input on what you asked. Yes, I mentioned about my work in hospital. Yeah, and if I called it incident, so forth, but it's more like an experience, adding on to what I already believe. There were situations where we had to forget like our beliefs. I'll be a little bit more specific. I work with doctors and we do insemination or IVF. We do assisted reproductive medical insemination. So in that field, you find a lot of desperate people. And I'm an interpreter. You come to a couple that will come to ask you for things that you don't really can conceive. You're going to have couples come to ask you, like, for example, if the doctor asks something about my husband, please don't say it the way he said. And remember, you are an interpreter. You are not there to take parts. You are there to do your work. And you have two people sitting in front of you trying to tell you to lie and to omit things and to be what you are not. So there are things that sometimes I had to do because of kind of the job that I had, but I don't feel proud of, because I always think like honesty is the key. And there are very few things that happen, but this one of hospitals and related to patients and relating to the lying and truth are the ones that touch me much in life. And the example that I gave to you is only one. Many of them happen on my sphere. Yeah, but it's part of life. It's part of work. It's part of what we are. If we are living, if we're doing a work, that's why I said there is not really any honest work. Yeah, every work, there is always a story behind, which is the person that's supplying that work that will know. So experiences, there will be many, but I wanted to share with you this one that I said now. I think I know too much. Yeah, I know too much. I might be young, but difficulties, they fill my PCO. Yeah, so I know too much. I have too much information, which doesn't mean that I don't have still space to learn and to do. And I think I know how to sit down with kings, and I also sit down with poor people. So I know all the grounds. If I have to become a leader, I know when a poor or miserable people come to tell me about being on the streets, because I've been there. Yeah. If I talk about business, if someone talks to me about containers development and everything, shipments and everything, I've been there. So which means I am an all-around person. I've been reading and studying too many things at the same time, so it could make me a great leader. Yeah, but not forgetting that sometimes power can really mislead us. Yes, not forgetting that power can really mislead us. So which means I still need to work on my craft every day. If people think about Stanislaw, they'll think like is a problem solver, and I'm always trying not to disappoint. True gold, and talking to the millennials, I think we're looking too far. For the younger generation, I'm thinking we are believing too much in Google and all other information, and we are forgetting our elders. We all have our elders, and sometimes even when a daddy says something, we say, "Now this guy is too old," but old comes with experience. So which means, despite of us looking for information elsewhere, let us listen to each other, and especially the elders. I can also learn from the young generation, from the millennials. I can also learn, but I think we are listening less, and we think we know too much. We know too much. Technology is there, everything is there. We never had what you have today, and why I think we're still struggling, and why we think we still not making it, because we're looking at it the wrong way. We're looking at it the wrong way. If we go to example of internet, if you see the searches, I think there's also researchers out there. I don't have the links. What most people from ages between 13 to 21 go to do on the internet is to look for famous people, trying to get status, trying to see adult stuff and all other stuff, instead of what I said earlier: work on your craft. Try to do something. Try to think about something that could bring difference. If you are in school, try to see like which difference can I bring between these people of mine. My colleagues are here. If you are in school, think outside of the box. Which business sometimes even can I do here in school? I have a pencil, and all my colleagues, they don't have pencils. Oh, there is a necessity of some rubbers in schools and everything. So if you have that business mentality, go to a shop, get a rubber, use it as a sample. And if your colleague wants, start selling, but start moving, because life doesn't wait for us. We won't be young forever. We won't be young forever. I realized that I started giving right, and I could say, I started saying like, my dad was always right when he was saying some of the things to me before, because now I became a dad and I know how it feels. So which means listen to your elders. Yeah, sometimes we are not the right ones, but then try not to judge or to misunderstand us. Listen to us, and if there is anything that you can grab that thing, and if there is something that you want to ask, reach us, and we are here for you. Yes. My greatest achievement was the last one, being a dad. Yeah, was the greatest and the best experience that I have. I have material. I have guest houses. I have business going on. I have farms, which I co-partner. Yeah, but the best achievement was to be a dad, because I can see myself through my son. I can see myself through other people. So my greatest achievement is family. One of my best quotes is never give up. Never give up. If you have a desire, you have a dream, you have something on your mind, if you want to be great and to achieve greatness, never give up. Remember to always have plan A, B, C. And if you have these things on your hands, the chances of failings, they're always going to be remote. So never give up. Go out there, challenge yourself, accept defeat, because there will be defeat. Yeah, fall 100 times and stand up 200 or 500 times. So you need to always to do great. Think about greatness, and let you not limit your imaginations. For me today, it's not impossible to own an airplane or to be a president. Believe in anything, but then put a plan in place. Gold viewers, my advice is to you. If you want to succeed in life and if you want to be a great person, you need to work on your craft every single day. Starting by a nice exercise, read pages of a book. I'm not saying read a book every day. Try to learn at least 2 to 3 new things in one day. Be a person that have less friends, but trying to have friends that can really increase something in your life. And we're saying this naturally because this is a live program. Yes. So be yourself and believe in yourself. This is what I want to tell the Gold viewers, and thank you. I don't think, as I said earlier, again I'll repeat, I don't think I'll run out for a fresh staff, because a fresh staff always, it gives us new experiences. So I need to start looking at my age, myself, like when I want to start living, When you say fresh things, I think I won't do a fresh things, but I'll add on what I do. I think starting a fresh thing is always way too risky, but starting and leaving other things that I do. Doesn't mean that I'm not open to do a fresh or a new things, but I'm always on the safe side. I'll always add on fresh things, and especially maybe to a thing that I already do. Like for example, if I'm in a medical field, I'm gonna start now thinking about let me start doing masks. So which means I'll evolve. That's gonna be like a fresh things and new thing, but it's already on the business that I know and what I actually do. So I won't go, as I say, backwards, to restart, because it's very difficult, but I'll think forward. I'll try to think like, okay, now I have this business, I have this guest house, and plus I need to put management in place. So which means I have a guest house, so I have it up and running. I have people controlling that, and then now I can venture on another thing and another thing. This is what I think about the question that you asked, and that's what I want to give to you.